Hi friends, welcome back to my cozy little space. Today we're going to talk about the Trade Me project drama. So, if you haven't heard about it before, it's quite fascinating. So, I love doing the research for this one because the idea behind the project is absolutely genius. So, I'm going to read a little summary, kind of, or the breakdown what is happening, and then I'm going to show you quite a few videos just to see the story and what actually happened. And then at the end, we're going to watch the last video clip. Is this clip up to date from Demi, who is the founder of the project, and she kind of wraps it all up and just kind of gives her piece of information and a summary kind of what went down. The drama started with Shay, a participant in the Trade Me project led by Demi Skipper. So, Demi Skipper is the lady that founded the Trade Me project, and Shay is the girl who won the prize or who got selected for the prize. So Shay publicly claimed she was banned from a house she had won from the project, right? Shay's portrayal suggested the house was permanent prize, which led to misunderstanding among followers. Demi responded by clarifying that the house was intended as a temporary arrangement, which while seeking a permanent solution, Demi, the Trade Me project lady, she basically got a house in her possession, and she thought she's gonna do like a basically not like a fundraiser. Like basically, she was trying to be nice and select a person in need to go and use that house whilst she helped to find a permanent solution. So, for example, someone's struggling with housing, or someone's going for a bad patch, or they didn't have money, or maybe they didn't have nowhere to live, they've been evicted. So, there was a whole selection process where people had to send their videos in and say why they should be selected for this house. So, it was never Shay's, the girl that won, it was never Shay's house. There was no documents exchanged. Demi, the founder of the project, she was paying the taxes for the house. She was paying for all the maintenance. So yeah, so the house was never intended to be theirs. It's just she was helping out basically. In this case, Shay got it. She got the temporary house, right? The price, so to say. And yeah, she was just helping her. She was doing little fundraisers to get her stuff as well. So she asked people to sign up and kind of donate Amazon gifts or whatever there was on the list to help Shay even further. So that's a little story, okay? I'll tell you what is a training project, which is so fascinating. I absolutely love the idea. A round of applause for the Demi, for the lady who actually done this. So listen up. The Trade Me project, initiated by Demi Skipper, is a unique endeavor where she started with a single bobby pin and aims to trade items progressively until she acquires a house. So the project is documented and shared on TikTok, where the followers can watch the journey of trades, which includes various items ranging from earrings to vehicles. The project has gained significant attention for its creative approach to trading and has been a topic of interest and inspiration on social media. Now we're going to watch a little video where it kind of show you and explains again how the project was made and founded.
Pandemic, I got this house completely for free.
And now I'm getting a second after making what I think is my best trade yet.
So how does this all work? Instead of buying houses, I started with a single bobby pin and traded random strangers around the US until I got all the way to a house. I was on Ellen and even published my own book. This time around, I've made 14 trades, but I've been stuck for a very long time on this small RV. But 3 months ago, I met Channing. Channing was interested in my RV and also had something that she had bought during the pandemic that she no longer used. So we got my end of the trade to Channing and then picked up the new item. I traded the small RV for a giant 2002 Snowbird RV. This RV is massive. It has a living room, a kitchen, a bedroom, and a bathroom, and even has bump outs on the sides that expand to make the RV even bigger. I am so close to getting the second house. So as always, if you're interested in a trade, DM me on Instagram and let's get this second house.
This is part 2 of who I gave the Trade Me project house to. Here's
So that's how that lady Demi started the project basically. And she's got quite far now. It's absolutely fascinating. Like I said, amazing. So if you do want to check it out, you can find it on TikTok or Instagram. The next video we're going to watch is the selection. So how Shay got the house. So we're going to watch the actual video that Shay sent in saying why she deserves the prize or why she should win. So let's go ahead and watch that.
her story.
I am honestly lost at words. I don't know what to say. I don't know where to begin. It warms my heart knowing that there are people like you who are just so kind and giving. The fact that you took the time to read probably millions of submissions, and hear all of our stories out. It really warms my heart. One of the hardest things to do is to ask for help. Whenever I sent you that email, I didn't expect an outcome. I didn't expect a response. So let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I am 18. I am living with my friend. I was very fortunate for them to open their home to me. Let me just explain why I'm in this situation. So, when I was 2 years old, I lost my mom. She was in a car accident. I continued staying at home with my dad. He fell into depression, and on top of that, he was diagnosed with bladder cancer. In 2016, he lost his battle of depression, and he overdosed and took his life. I was then moved to Pennsylvania with my grandparents, with my sister. A year later, my grandpa died, leaving my grandmother to take care of us, which was really hard because she wasn't able to walk. She had some medical issues, and she needed a hip replacement, but they wouldn't do the procedure because of her weight, and yeah. So in 2019, December of 2019.
So yeah, so you got the idea behind it. So she sent this video. Obviously now we know that she won. I mean, she had quite a terrible life, bless her, like horrific. So I'm not surprised. Like she obviously deserved it, like after the life she had. So I'm not surprised that she won, and I'm happy for her, right? I'm not going to show the whole thing because it just keeps on going. I will show you the next video of the lady that kind of summarizes all the drama that's been happening since. So since she's got the house, so what's been happening. And let me just make something clear. Demi, the co-founder of the Trade Me project, she did not put out any videos or any messages or anything like that, any kind of personal conversations between herself and Shay on her social media. So she kept it quiet and she was very respectful, and she was dealing with Shay behind closed doors of what was going on, which we'll see now. So like I said, there's like a little summary of everything that happens.
Yeah.
It was all these little trades she makes along the way, always leveling up because for whatever reason it made sense for the person on the other end, and her goal was to get a house. Lo and behold, January of 22 or thereabouts, she actually was able to trade a large RV for a house, a small house, okay?
A lot of questions. I'm a little suspicious, but continue.
And this was all sort of a social experiment. So, since she had been given this house for free, she said, I'm going to have a little giveaway and people can give me your submissions. I want this house to go to someone in need.
It warms my heart knowing that there are people like you who are.
And this woman who got the house, I just double checked and I was wrong. It's Shayla Lynn, but is like one word. Shayla Lynn Carpenter is the one who got the house, okay? She made a TikTok and said, I was given a house and it was taken away from me. And everyone turned on the trade me.
And this is how the drama started, like I said in the start, when I read the first sentence. So the drama started, she went on her social media, the Shay girl, she went on social media and just said the house was taken away from me. Like I made it clear from the start, the house was never hers. And keep listening to his story. It's ludicrous.
Woman, just like, oh, you give this young woman a house and then you take it away. What kind of person are you? All right.
I think I need some more details.
So the Trade Me account came in hot with the details. She seems like a genuinely nice person, and she was like, listen, let me show you what I've been dealing with for the past couple years. I never wanted to make this public, but I do feel like I have kind of an obligation now because this other side has been put out here.
In order to protect Shay, I had decided not to post anything about this entire situation, but now it's time to come with the receipts.
So she came with receipts, and what happened was she gave the house to the woman. She says in her video she moved in January of 2022, but I think she meant to say June of 2022 because she says a month later, and then now it's July 31st, 2022. She gets a text from a neighbor who says like, hi, there's a bunch of packages outside the house. And this was because they had started an Amazon wish list for her, and people from all around the country were sending everything this young woman could need to set up a home.
Yeah, so not only did Demi provide her with a house after she won this giveaway, she also set up like a gift list. She set it up for Shay. So Demi set up for Shay a gift list so people could also send her all whatever she needed, all the necessary stuff. She went and done that for her on top of everything else.
And so she was getting tons of packages. They're out in the rain. And so she texts her and she was like, Shayla Lynn, there's packages. I just want to know when you'll get back to the house. So what happened was apparently Shayla Lynn moved in. Shayla Lynn moved into the house for 1 month, June of 2022, with her boyfriend, her boyfriend's mother, and a whole gaggle of pets. They were in this house for a month. And then for whatever reason, she vacated, went back to her place, I guess in Pennsylvania. And so then she gets this text about the packages. And she was like, I'm just kind of like having trouble moving. I'll get there soon. And so then she was like, no problem. I understand it's a lot to move. And then August, she like pulls up August 12th, August 13th, August 14th, August 20 something, August, all through the month of August, she's exchanging these texts with Shayla Lynn.
Where's the house?
I don't know. I was hoping you wouldn't ask me. I don't know. But it's in a different state from where this woman lives.
Yeah, so Shay is from, well, her residency was Pennsylvania before she moved in the house, but I'm not aware of the house either, but it's in a different state.
And she's saying, it's honestly really overwhelming for me moving. I need to get a new driver's license. And then she was like, I got the driver's license, yay. And she's like, I'm going to get there soon. And so month after month, it's now been 3 months, 4 months. And so like a neighbor agreed to take the packages. By the end of September, Shayla Lynn's still not there, and she's not really being so responsive to the texts anymore. She's not living in the house. And so they donate the packages to Goodwill. And so time goes on and the texts become fewer and further between. The texts go on and Shayla Lynn's not answering. And so now it gets to the point where it's been 14 months since Shayla Lynn has been in the house. This house has been abandoned. And
how did she find
14 months the house stood empty. So Shay only lived there with her family, whoever she brought with her, for 1 month. After sending that heartbreaking video, 14 months they stood empty. Just can you imagine when someone else in need, or someone with kids that lost their house due to whatever circumstances they were in, they could have been living in a house, it could have been absolutely life-changing for them. And she said that she didn't have anywhere to live or something along them lines. So please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know your opinion on this.
Shayla Lynn in the first place?
Through a contest, emails. And her life story, it's sad. She
But how did she vet these people? How did she pick?
I don't know the vetting process, but what I do know is that she said that her mother passed away when she was 2 years old. Shortly after that, her father was diagnosed with cancer. He was in deep depression. He eventually took his own life, succumbed to depression. She went to live with her grandparents. Her grandfather died, and then her grandmother needed a hip replacement. So she's like 18 and basically has no place to go. She's just in her grandparents' house alone. And so she was like, well, she seems deserving. She's had a really rough go of it. So that's why she decided to give her this house. But now it's been 14 months and Shayla Lynn has not been there. And she was like, I'm having the lawn cared for and everything, but really I just don't want the house to fall in total disrepair. Maybe if you don't think you'll make it here, we could give it to someone else.
Yeah, so was the house was vacant, Demi had to pay for all the maintenance, grass cutting, taxes. She had to pay for everything herself. And because it wasn't lived in, she obviously was worried that the house gonna like not be a wreck, but house gonna be damaged, obviously. Like you need to look after, make sure there's no leaks. Like it needs to be lived in. That was the purpose for the house.
And so, because it never was transferred, the deed or title, because she never actually came to fully take possession of it. And
Yeah, and it was not supposed to be her house. So there was no documents, like I said, there was no documents signed. There was nothing like that. It was just temporary measure until she was getting helped by everyone else and other people, and yeah, just to find a permanent solution,
so
basically.
that's the real backstory behind what happened. And so the final chapter was this train me woman goes to the house to check on it, and she goes inside, and the month that they had been there, they trashed it. Trashed it.
They trashed it 1 month they were in the house. So that's the final video that I'll show you when the Demi herself finally speaks up, and she shows all the receipts that we will see, messages that you can read, and she says the same thing, that the house was absolutely trashed, ridden with maggots. 1 month, guys. So that's what I'm saying. Do you think she deserved to win the house? Yeah, she had a hard life, but did she was somewhere else maybe more in need? Because if someone's in need, they're gonna treat it like a dream come true, right? And they're gonna live in it and be grateful to receive. And for 1 month, she trashed it and left, and just let it just stand there.
It's like
that she was there was jammed into closets.
So that's the
So you
clip
can
from the
imagine what it looks
Demi.
like after 14 months. I've never seen anything like this.
they had just shoved trash instead of putting it out. They just took their trash and put it in like the closets, and like the animals had defecated and like peed
There was
all over the
poo
house, and like
everywhere.
they were
Yeah,
it
rubbish
was
just
just in
stashed in
total
empty rooms.
disarray, just shambles. And because it had sat in that state for so long, there were some things that like were going to be practically irreversible, you know.
Really?
Yeah. And so then this Shayla Lynn has the audacity to put out a statement, like a video on TikTok saying that the house was taken away, when really all of this has been going on behind the scenes the whole time.
What's going on behind you?
I think to cover her own back, she and to justify, I don't know, like in her mind, I guess, it's not logical to me, but to justify herself, she kind of said, oh, I was kicked out of the house, that's why it stood empty, that's why it's in this condition. If the house was clean, it would be still in a clean condition, and you could clearly tell if there was a leak or something along them lines. But there was poo, there was rubbish stashed in empty rooms just because they couldn't be bothered to take it out. There was just all mess in the house. And I think she came out and said, oh yeah, the house was taken, so it wasn't her fault. But you lived there for a month. There was no one else in the house but you.
Yeah, we got a break in. So here's the question. Because she was given the house, she won this house in a giveaway, do you think that she should still own it? That she should have the right to let it sit vacant for 14 months and trash it and just go whenever she may feel like it? Or do
And that is my question to you. So please leave a comment down below. I would love to know your opinion. I personally think, did she deserve to win from the start? Sure. Of course she did. Like the girl has horrific start to her life. So yeah. The way she treated it though shows exactly her character. No matter what you give her, like some people just cannot be helped. Like you give her a house, so she clearly has somewhere to live because she vacated it after a month. B, she trashed it. She did total disregard for someone's hard work. Someone's trying to help. Someone's setting everything up for her. I feel like anyone else in this situation would have appreciated much more, and for someone it could have been absolutely life changing. Now I will show you the video from Demi. So the lady that kept quiet all this time, she was messaging back and forth with Shay, trying to resolve the issue, trying to find out why is she not coming to the house? Is there anything more that she could do? And now this is the latest video that Demi has posted on her TikTok, that she kind of explains everything and sums everything up. So let's listen to that.
But this is where things really start to go downhill. From July 31st, I continued to message Shay that we had her packages and that we were looking for her to return to Clarksville to get them. And I'll look at the dates. From then, August 9th, August 12th, August 13th, August 15th, August 16th, August 18th, August 19th, August 24th, August 27th, and into September, I messaged her about coming to get the packages or returning to Clarksville, and you can pause to read all of it.
So not only that, Demi was kind of supporting her as well and saying that she understands, because basically what Shay said is that she moved back to Pennsylvania. And Demi was like, oh, sure, I understand. It's a big change, changing different states. I understand it must be very overwhelming. So she was actually supporting for all these messages as well.
Those conversations. On September 27th, it had been almost 2 months of storing Shay's packages with no sense that she would return, so we decided, Natasha and I, to donate all of the packages to Goodwill. On October 6th, 2022, it had been 4 months since she had been at the house, and I asked her if she had ever planned to return. And I'll actually look over and read this directly because this is like a little bit heartbreaking. So she told me she was a bit overwhelmed, which I completely understood by the situation, and that she had gone back to Pennsylvania. Totally fine. So I replied, oh my gosh, I totally get it. That seems so reasonable. Either way, I'm so proud of you and you'll figure it out. In the meantime, I don't mind managing everything that comes up. I'll have the grass cut for the next year. I just want to make sure you're okay and that if you need anything, you can get it. You can pause to read that entire conversation as well. On January 12th, 2023, so about 6 months later, I again messaged her, this time saying I needed to transfer everything into her name. And on January 24th, 2023, she replied that she needed to think about it. She was sorry about all the poor communication. So I continued to let all of this go. Pause to read that. We talked February, March, April, May, all the way through August. She continued to say that she was moving back in. We were giving her time, but she never moved back in. So August 13th, 2023, I actually went down to Clarksville to see what was happening with this house. She hadn't been there in 14 months, and this is where things get insane. We got to the house, and the house was completely ruined. Everything
so that's
inside,
the snippets that we saw of the
essentially
house
there was pee
when I
on the
walked in.
ground. All of the garbage that had been used in the month that she was there was jammed into closets. So you can imagine what it looks like after 14 months. I've never seen anything like this.
14 months being
cried in
empty,
the
but
front
1
yard of the
month of
house.
actual living.
Just can't imagine that somebody would do this. And after 14 months of me talking with her this entire time and her saying she was moving back, we're just waiting, we just needed more time. And I honestly believed that.
Look at the fridge. Like, how can you be so disrespectful after someone helps you, right? To cause this. Like, you can see the house is brand new, well, clearly been renovated for her to move into, or for whoever won. And look at the fridge. I'll be crying too for all the hard work she's gone through. She got a house from starting an amazing project, and as someone that she tried to help someone out, truly help, and then they go ahead and do this. Like, that's why no wonder when people stop helping someone else if they get treated like this, right?
I'm like actually so sad for her, like so sad for the house.
I'm sad for you.
And like, I just like don't know who to be sadder for. This is so fucking stupid.
That same day, I then messaged Shay and told her I was devastated that she had ruined the house, and she apologized. You can pause to read those screenshots of her apologizing. I then spent the next 24 hours with Bobby cleaning out the entire house, cleaning maggots and trash.
I'm very upset and disappointed in myself as well. That's what Shay said.
And everything that was left there to put the house back into the state that we had given it to her in. So after I got home, I thought about posting the video and the content of the house being destroyed, but I decided it wasn't worth it from a human perspective for me to get views and show this damage when clearly this is a person that has a lot going on in their life. I felt if I posted it that people would attack her. And in some ways I still wanted to try to protect her. Like, it's really sad now that it's come to this. But I figured I owed you guys every receipt, every screenshot, all the things that have happened in the last year and a half with this house. Yeah, just so you can understand. That's it. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
So this was the latest video on Demi's TikTok called the Trade Me Project. And yeah, that's exactly what happened. So shocking. Like I said, I would love to read your views. Should you think should have the house went to someone else? I think the fact that it really is disappointing angers me that it stood empty for such a long time when there's so many homeless people with kids, elderly that just don't have money for the rent or lost their job suddenly and they could have been living in an amazing house. Yeah, I think some people just, no matter what you do, unless they want help themselves, they need to grow and they need to change. Otherwise, that's exactly how charities and people who try to help others, they just get very disheartened and just stop altogether. Because other people like her, I understand she's got issues, but also she clearly had somewhere else to live. And why didn't she just say to Demi? Demi was checking in on her. She didn't have to for all this process. Why did she just say, listen, I'm not going to move back? She tried, fair enough. She might have not liked the location. Like, it's not the point. She could have just said, listen, give it to someone else who's more deserving. I don't feel like I'll be living in there. Like, that's all she had to say. Anyway, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this story. I know I did. And please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.